Welcome to LNK KnowledgeLiNK, an adaptive, personalized e-learning and intelligent tutoring system. KnowledgeLiNK simulates the most important features of a real tutor: the ability to listen to the learner, assess gaps in the learner's knowledge, and deliver guidance specifically targeted to fill those gaps. Learners who complete a course using KnowledgeLiNK are not simply presented with learning material, but are challenged, assessed, and guided through trouble spots to ensure they master each and every concept presented in the course. We begin by logging on to LNK's web-based course management system with an active user account. The authenticated user can now choose from a list of available courses, some of which may have already been started by the learner and are already in progress. By clicking the View Details link, we can see the detailed learning objective network that underlies each course. This network will serve as our roadmap through the learning process, tracking our learning progress and ensuring that each objective is achieved, no matter which path we take through the material. This approach to course design and construction, using a network of concepts and relationships, allows for easier and more rapid course development than standard instructional design methods and storyboarding approaches to course construction. Instead of relying on complex, scripted branching that is authored into the course, KnowledgeLiNK's dynamic adaptive engine automates the learner's navigation through the course objectives. When we click the View Progress link, we can see a detailed report on the progress of individual learners, or an aggregate report for all learners in a given course. This report helps pinpoint knowledge gaps and trouble spots by identifying where learners are having more difficulty mastering course concepts. Now we'll launch a course on the cardiac cycle. The diagrams embedded in the presentation, along with flash objects and audio recordings, are located on a server operated by the content publisher. Presentation text has been added by the course author explaining the diagrams and presenting content to the learner. This course begins with a complex, higher-level presentation, as shown in the level indicator at the upper right of the screen. Several concepts are presented at this level. Presentation material is followed by test questions, which are interspersed throughout the course. Depending on the learner's answer to test questions, learning objectives will be presented and tested at either higher or lower levels of granularity and complexity. If the learner fails to answer correctly at this level, the tutoring system will begin a diagnostic process to determine the specific gaps in the learner's understanding and present specific material targeted to those knowledge gaps. Learners who demonstrate understanding of the concepts presented can move more quickly through the material, while those who are not able to correctly answer higher-level questions will be presented the material in smaller, simpler steps to guide them through each of the learning objectives. By clicking the Show Status button, we can view the learner's progress through the course. Notice that some nodes of the learning objective network are now highlighted. Blue nodes indicate the learner's demonstrated mastery, showing test questions relating to those objectives have been successfully answered. In this case, we have correctly answered a question about pulmonary veins. The red nodes indicate where the learner has failed to correctly answer test questions. These nodes will be revisited, the learner will be presented with additional material on these objectives, and be given another opportunity to correctly answer test questions. The green nodes indicate learning objectives for which mastery is expected. In this case, the learner has failed to correctly answer a question involving the vena cava. The system is presenting targeted information on the vena cava to enable the learner to master this concept. This node is outlined in green, indicating it is the current objective being presented. Once the learner correctly answers this question, the system will return to focus on other concepts for which mastery is questionable based on the initial wrong answer to the more complex question. Once each question has been correctly answered, the learner can continue to advance through the course material. Again, depending on the learner's level of mastery, the intelligent tutoring engine will direct the learner to either higher level, more complex presentations and test questions, or guide the learner through material at a lower level of granularity to pinpoint exactly the concepts for which additional learning is required. LNK KnowledgeLiNK is a flexible system for intelligent e-tutoring in any subject domain. Courses are displayed in any web browser and can accommodate a wide variety of media types. In this course, a 60-minute algebra tutorial video has been edited into smaller chunks, which can now be presented in a dynamic, adaptive learning objective network.
First, the definition of a term. A term is a number or the product of a number and variables raised to powers. Notice I have some examples of terms. The numerical coefficient of this term is 2. These are examples of like terms. So let's go over a definition of like terms.
Rather than simply presenting learning material and hoping that learners understand and remember the concepts, KnowledgeLiNK presents a series of situational challenges to measure the learner's understanding throughout the course. KnowledgeLiNK empowers course authors to rapidly develop effective and thorough learning materials that can be easily updated and modified. It frees the author from attempting to guide every learner on a preset path through complex material and allows them to focus on the important concepts being presented. For the learner, KnowledgeLiNK's dynamic adaptive tutoring engine provides continuous assessment and delivers the most appropriate and important material to help the learner to complete the course and master the important concepts. For course authors, instructors, and learners alike, KnowledgeLiNK is your pathway to learning.